Hey everybody, welcome to the Dope and Tape Show. Today is Thursday, and we have, what's it? What episode? 121?
122.
122. That's a big number. We're getting up there.
Episode 122.
Man, one day we'll be saying 1,000
There's a
and
lot of time
something.
spent sitting looking at you.
Yeah, I know. And then we talk every day.
I
And
know.
I wonder in the future if it's gonna be like that still.
Every
We'll
day, kid. No, that's good.
talk every
I'm
day.
not sick of you yet. Like, not that sick of you yet.
I know it. I know. But I'm a lovable guy, and it's hard not to love me and think about me. And I think that's what you do during the day. Is like, I wonder what Brian is doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Everybody, thank you for joining us. If you're just getting in here, if you're watching us live, you're watching the replay, we really appreciate you. The like button, it's very powerful. I know I talk about it all the time. Say it till I turn blue. The subscribe button. We're at to 952. The road to 1,000. Oh, sorry, 954. We must have just missed the pop-up thing that I love. But thank you for joining. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Tonight we have Joe Saffer. Actually, just recently won the boot giveaway.
Woo woo.
Oh, you got him handy,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yep. Nice brand new boots.
Well, look at that thing. That's a nice looking boot. The
It is a
Brunts.
nice boot.
Oh, that's nice.
Shout out to Brunt.
You feel like the toe is like sturdy?
Yeah, this part up here is new. It's definitely solid up there. So
Nice. Those would be good for Brian because he doesn't have to
Those,
tie them.
good for the
those
job
steel
site.
toes?
Huh?
Are those steel toes?
Yeah, well they're composite toe now. I think
Oh,
they're
okay.
yeah.
Safety.
So I'm a big fan of boots with laces. Always been. I've never been a slip-on guy.
Mhm.
But where the slip-ons are really good, where I like them, is when I drive. I do like my driving slippers. Like I'll take my boots off and I'll have driving slippers.
Oh my goodness.
What, you never done that?
No,
Never
I
been
wear my
a
boots. I'm nervous something's gonna happen on the way home, and I gotta jump out and do something crazy. I don't want to be caught with my pants down and have slippers on, kid. Keep my boots tied.
if I die, I die, I guess.
As a farmer, we always wear slip-on boots. So if a cow steps on your foot, you can get away from them.
Oh,
So
that's
Oh,
okay. So there's a concept to it.
yep.
Slide that baby out. All right, before we get a little bit farther, I want to we're gonna have a quick word from our sponsors, if you would. We are very excited about this, and we really appreciate Vegas Valley Fire and all the guys over there. And that's it. Check this ad out, please.
The safest bet in Las Vegas for career satisfaction is hiring. Vegas Valley Fire Protection is growing its team of industry best talent. How? By empowering skilled technicians just like you with best-in-class in-house training, career advancement opportunities, unique 4-day workweek programs, generous wage scales and 401k, robust health insurance benefits, and more. Ready to place a sure bet on your next career move? Apply today.
Boom. So if you're looking for a job in Vegas, you want to go to that link. It's VVF Fire. Man, I can't see it now. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. VVFfire.com/forward/ be my best, and that's it. They're looking for some sprinkler fitters. They're looking for some service techs, or hit them up. Let them know we sent you. The safest bet for career satisfactions in Las Vegas. Come on. All right.
well, so I shared this episode that they posted on LinkedIn, and
Tyler Wells, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you.
thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you. The biggest thing that stood out to me with them was the the tenure that they had. Like he was there for what? Over a decade. All the management's been there for over a decade. Like you don't get that by mistake. I mean, that's like when the people talk about a community inside the organization that's like family, like it seems like they nailed it.
And they've all been
I
there
mean,
for
they
so
had
long.
to. There's so many options to go to other places, and it's hard to find good work for the guys who are good and have all those opportunities elsewhere to stay. That says something about the company.
Boom. I zoomed us in a little bit. Check that out. How do we look? Do we look all right? Do we sound all right? Give us some feedback. All right, let's talk about Joe.
Yeah, Joe. I love the overalls, man. That's
Uh,
awesome.
I've been wearing them since I was probably about 2 or 3 years old. So never, never outgrew them. So, but but no, hey, I appreciate being invited here. I mean, I appreciate what you all do for the sprinkler industry.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
man.
Thank you.
I always say fire protection is the most important thing in the building, and it's certainly the greatest industry out there. Um, you know,
Oh, yes.
that, it, however, we definitely lack a lot of social media presence. I mean, I search for sprinkler and podcasts, and there's not much that comes up. There's a couple, like Chris Logan and a few other guys that have podcasts, but y'all do a great job. I know it's a big commitment for y'all every week,
Yeah.
but I definitely appreciate hearing all the stories and talking about thread machines and grooves and leaks and blowouts and
Yeah.
ups and downs and helpers and everything y'all bring to the table. So
Thank
it's
you,
great.
man. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And shout out to the Fire Sprinkler Podcast, Chris Logan. That's our buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great. He's great,
Oh,
man.
they're
I
saying
really
they're saying
enjoy
the Dope and Tape Show or the State of the Union. Tommy says Biden or Brian. It's a tough choice.
it. Hard choice.
Oh, everybody in the comments: Chad, Mike, George, Tommy, the Matt Bass we were just talking to, Tyler Wells,
Howard
Justin.
Ferguson.
We got Corlin. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. He says Tyler says. Talk about family company. Saffer runs a great one. Yeah, he was telling us about that. We're gonna get into it. So when did you get into the industry, Joe?
So my father started the company in 1976, and I started running in about 1984, 1985. And we're just, we grew from a bunch of my high school friends is kind of our core group of people that run the company now. So we grew up together, and we've grown and ran the company for many, many years.
Wow, that
Uh,
is that is awesome. All your buddies?
Yep. So I've got, I mean, my best friends are, partners in this business, and, they're great, great people. So it's, I've never had another job in my life. That's besides farming and firefighting, but, I've never done anything else. 12 years old, I'd be in the shop, putting together hangers, and, I kind of
Oh
really
man, you
started.
were bred for this. So you've been doing this 50 years. You still got the bib
Wow.
on.
Yep. Yeah. I still these are my clean ones.
Oh
So
yeah, that's all. So you were also a firefighter?
yeah, I'm we're in Virginia here, and about 4 years ago I went through the recruit school for our fire department. So I'm a full time, not full a full firefighter and EMT. So
Oh,
I
that's
run
cool.
we run calls at nighttime and on the
Like you didn't have
weekend.
enough going on already?
No, uh,
Good for you,
the,
man. Just like staying a part of the community. It's fire, right? It's all fire. Fire and
yeah.
water. Russell, what up? RS, Daryl, thank you guys for joining us. Hit the like button, please. I love when people subscribe as we're watching. So if we can make that happen again, I love that pop up. Come on,
So
hug it out.
through your years in fire protection, I was wondering, what are some of the things that you've seen in the industry that you wish did not happen? And then what are some of the things that you're glad that it happened?
I'll start with the stuff I'm glad about or happy about. I kind of I think back to the, 70s, which I wasn't hanging pipe back in, but, you know, Schedule 10 pipe and groove couplings, that was a kind of a big thing for the industry back then. But, in the past 10 years or so, we've seen flexible hoses come into the industry, and, nitrogen dry systems, and actually 3D modeling and stuff. So, those have been the good things. Um, you know, One of the bad things is, there's not, and I'm a being a firefighter has really made me bigger advocate of fire sprinklers. And one of the negative things is not having sprinklers in homes. Um, as a firefighter, I've gone into homes on fire and seen the ravages of what the smoke and the heat and what it looks like in real time. And so many of the states, their legislative parts kind of related to, and I'm not knocking the home builders, but they, they've taken home fire sprinklers out of a lot of the codes in all the states except for California and Maryland. And, but, as far as that, there should be, sprinklers in every home in the US.
I agree.
So
I agree.
that's,
How can we
I
push
agree.
this? So in Massachusetts, if you have a three family, if you build a new three family, it has to have sprinklers. And if you renovate a two family or more than 50%, you have to add sprinklers. But
mhm,
single family, there's a couple counties or towns that will force it, but
yeah.
it's not everywhere it should be.
It's definitely not. And, if the amount of combustibles that are in homes nowadays, just the plastics and, um, the fuel load is just immense. And it can take a typical home can go to flashover in, sometimes under a minute, 90 seconds.
Man,
Yeah.
people can't even get out. Chad, big fan of joining up with your boys to do fire protection. Chad, we love that you're here. Joe, what up, Joe? Joe Kelly from the Mass Construction Show. Go subscribe to his channel too.
What's
Al,
up?
every home I've ever lived in has had fire sprinklers except my college house. Wow. It must be in Cali, no? It's gotta be in Cali.
Probably in Cali. I don't know anybody else is doing it.
That Al? Huh. I'd love to have sprinklers in the house. I think it's a great idea. Put them in every one of them,
Yeah,
like
right off a
right from the
backflow.
rip, you know?
Yeah.
Right off a backflow, when you put it into, you can have one of those leak finders that Ames makes. I think it's Ames or Watts.
Oh, and it lets you know if you got a leak.
But yeah, it
Mhm.
just stops
And they
flow.
usually got a big. Usually the ones that I've seen around in Mass, they have that tank, like that home tank with the pump built into it that sits in the basement,
Yeah, yeah.
like a poly tank.
I put those like those leak finder kind of check valves in my last house.
Oh yeah, well, like on the water main.
No, it was before. I put it after my meter, my
Oh,
shut
okay.
off meter, right
Yep.
at the road.
Huh.
And I had about 10 acres, so it was a lot of pipe, just in case, you know?
Marvette's here. Yo, what up? How do we educate homeowners about maintaining systems? That too. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because then you'd have to be inspecting these houses every.
Yep.
And we
I
can't. We
mean,
don't even have enough inspectors to inspect
Well,
the commercial shit.
so the private residents here in Georgia, they have the sprinkler systems. They're by the homeowners association. They are required to have an inspection, for the entire property. And then like someone like me would go in there and inspect those houses, find some deficiencies, but there's no enforcement
Hmm.
because it's a private residence.
Oh, Al's in Georgia. Third generation. Anytime a family member builds a house, we put them in. That is sick. So you, Al, obviously here because Brian, if you're from Georgia, is that Al?
Yeah.
Is that your Al?
I don't know if it's my owl.
Is he third generation?
I don't think so.
No.
Not the owl that I know. I call all the time.
Yeah, you call him an
If
apprentice.
you're here in Georgia, you gotta let me know.
He's been doing sprinklers for 10 years. You call him an apprentice.
Yeah.
but
Once an apprentice to me, always an apprentice. No, I'm just kidding.
So, Joe, how do you find new employees?
um, I mean, just mostly word of mouth from the people we have. I mean, we have some families in our company. We have three generations, currently working for us.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
most, we have a lot of two generations, father, son type of thing. And just word of mouth. I mean, we really try to focus on giving a good environment for our people and giving them a path to success. And I mean, same way I grew up in this business and this trade. You know, you I never forget where I started at and how it was at the beginning, and and but most of our people come from families and friends. So we as we all struggle a little bit for labor, but we don't have a lot of problems with it. And we're just so everybody. I mean, we're in the Northern Virginia area, so we're about an hour, half hour outside of Washington D.C.
Okay, I just tore through there last week on my way up from Jacksonville.
Yeah, probably hit some traffic.
Yeah, Virginia definitely slowed me down a little bit. Listening to old episodes, Bobby talks about working at a school. Our school's sprinklered where everyone is. We're 50-50 here in upstate New York. A lot of partial systems. All the new schools that are going up 100% have sprinklers in Massachusetts, and we are retrofitting a lot of the old ones. I
Oh, that's
retrofitted at
cool.
least a half a dozen schools, and probably built at least another two from the ground up. Three.
And
Mass was doing a thing where
Kevin,
all the rich towns they were building the identical school, and the company I was working for was landing them all. So you would go to the next school in the next town, and it was like the exact same hallway, the exact same pump room, the mains, everything was in the exact same spot. Big, big
so
schools.
Kevin asked, do you ever think they will have a pre-action valve approved for single-family homes? I wouldn't imagine that wouldn't be approved.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
probably an application out there for that. And
well, I mean,
that
if
would
you could
be
put a wet system or a dry system on a commercial building, you can go from a wet to a dry or
I
a dry to a wet.
I think
There's
the
no reason
problem with a
why you can't put it in
pre-action
the home.
the pre-action in a single family home is it's gonna like triple the cost of the system.
Oh, it'd be super
It's gonna be
expensive.
so much more expensive than
They
just
would
putting a
have to
wet.
run an actual fire alarm, and then they would have to run
Another source of the
smokes.
yeah.
So,
Best
I mean, the
family
goal.
business in Northern Virginia from Ricky
That's
Smith.
expensive.
I
So
mean,
when you find your new employees from, let's say, word of mouth,
mhm.
how do you know if they're good or not? Like, is there a way that you find out if there's like, okay, this guy's a solid guy or this guy's a piece of junk, you know?
It comes as references from other, from somebody that already works for us. So they're pretty much somebody vouches for them essentially and says, hey, these guys. I mean, and honestly, not everybody, once they see what dirty water and black pipe
Oh yeah,
really is to get it up in the air, and you find every once in a while they find out they're a little afraid of heights sometimes.
that's a
But
big thing. That's a big thing. Guys don't realize they're afraid of heights. So you get them up there and they're just white knuckling. And man, you
yeah,
Well, I
better not
mean,
be on the
you
lift
went
with
to
me.
the,
I'll be shaking it. What's that thumbs up?
yeah, pop up.
Who did
I think
that?
I do balloons if I do this. No balloons. Maybe not. No, not you. Not you. Just me. Not.
but many of our people grew up in a sprinkler family, and they know what it is. So, but guys coming in the trade that never did sprinklers before, so but some maybe a few percent of them don't like it and back away. But I mean, we pretty much kind of retain probably 90% of our employees, and from the start to, and most of them, some of them never leave. Some of our guys have never had another job in their life outside of this company.
That is such a good sign. That's a very good look
Wow.
for you guys. Congratulations
And
on that.
because of that, I mean, that's huge. That's something like Vegas Valley Fire has that they were talking about on last shows, and I was like, whoa, like
It's a
that's a
good
big
look.
thing.
It's a
When
good look when
people
people have been
stay,
there forever. California's doing a lot of residential inspections. Insurance companies are requiring it. That's from Brother Chad. I don't know if you heard me, Joe, but best family business in Northern Virginia from Ricky Smith.
Thank you, Ricky.
and so Joe, I'm guessing you're really big on having apprentices, hiring some green guys and kind of teach them.
Yep. So this year we actually put a good handful of guys into the. I mean, normally we teach our apprenticeship in house. Um, it's this year we put like 15 or so, 15 or 16 guys in the AFSA virtual apprenticeship program. So that was our first time trying that, and it's excellent. I've sat in a couple of the classes just to see what the instruction's like, and I mean they have really great instructors that come from our industry, but putting them through the apprenticeship program, trying to teach them, the skills, the care that we kind of emphasize, to our clients and, internally within our own company.
Do good work.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So let's talk about that for a little bit. The what you were just saying about the AFSA training. That's all virtual?
it, it's all it's all virtual now. They have level one and level two because I think it was a year ago is when they started it. So they've only so last year's class will be in level two now, and
Okay.
our group was in level one, but um,
What is it, like an
they
hour? Like an hour a week or
I think it's I think it's 2 hours a week, and then they have a couple tests that
okay.
they do on their own. But you know, but I want to see what the instructors are like, and I mean, they're definitely knowledgeable, solid, experienced people. I mean, I was truly impressed. So
Joe
I
That's good to hear.
Joe
That's
Kelly
good
says
because we
Joe makes a good point about modern materials. They're plastic and petroleum based and scary how quick it goes up and how toxic the fumes are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smoke. It's the superheated gases that kill people. I mean, instantly. Uh, I mean, becoming a firefighter was kind of a full circle of fire protection for me. I spent my life in construction and engineering, and being able to go out and see, grab the end of the fire hose from the standpipe, or pulling the line off the truck, was is truly the full circle of fire protection.
Dude, I want to do that. I want to hook a fire hose up to the standpipe and just have at it.
But it's hard. It's heavy. They're pumping them hard.
I know, I can only imagine, man. Daryl says his new favorite thing happening in the industry right now is that fire departments are forcing companies to fix things that are way overdue. Matt Bass says referrals from current workers are the best because they won't refer someone that is going to make them look bad. That is true.
that's
Exactly.
true.
Yep. Yeah.
Howdy,
And if they
Becky.
do that, they're only doing it
Thank
one
you for
time.
joining us. Any inspectors in here hate using Compliance Engine or any other inspection portals as much as I do? I don't like paying the AHJs to give them reports. That's a Brian question. Read it, kid. Oh, then Matt says, I hate Compliance Engine, especially when they make the fees so many that it makes difficult to keep passing them on to the customer.
Yeah. In the
Yeah,
jail.
so that's the future, guys. Like that's the future. So I understand it's a pain in the butt, and it really is. But it does help the AHJs manage the buildings in their area, and it really makes things safer. Because they're able to, like they said, what Daryl said, stay on top of the deficiencies in the buildings. They can just pull it up on an iPad instead of having to put boots in the ground and going to the different locations and knocking on doors and wasting that time. There's not a lot of time in in the day. It's the future. As far as pricing, yeah. So different. So if you don't know, different reports cost different amounts. So a backflow will be, let's say, like $23. A sprinkler will be $45. I don't think anything's over 50, but they are pricey and they upload, but that's the future. I do put that on all of my proposals and let the customer know that they'll be paying for that. And this is how much it is. I mean, there's never going to be a way around this. I mean, it's just growing. It's not going to go away. Unfortunately. Do I hate it? Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, that's someone that you had to sit down and spend this time uploading all these reports and paying and then on top of that, it's not just a single report. Let's say we do an inspection, there's a deficiency on the inspection. We upload the report with a deficiency. Now we fixed it. Now we had to upload another report with them fixed. So that's double the fees, double the time. And that's just this is the future. It's just a pain in the butt,
It's the
but
future. You heard him.
it is safer. It is safer.
I'm not a big fan of all the fees that go along with it because they do charge by every aspect, with sprinklers, fire alarms, fire extinguishers, each component is a fee. But however, one thing that's not linked up with these compliance software things is they're not linked to the fire department. So if there is a fire pump out of service or something, that type of information, should get to, um, should get to the fire service in that area. That's how that information can be useful. But I don't think any of them do that yet. So that's
No.
Standard for integrated fire protection and life safety system testing. Joe Kelly says, are you guys aware of the adoption of NFPA 4 integrated testing that has been adopted in mass, worth looking into currently in the new fire code and will be upcoming edition of the building code? NFPA 4 standard development, standard for integrated fire protection and life safety systems. Thank you about that, Joe. I'm going to look into that. I'm not aware. Send me something.
Yeah, I'm not aware either.
Send me what you got, Joe.
As far as the reports going from compliance engine fire marshals to the fire department, eventually, and I think it's coming very soon, and some high-end new places have it now. It's it will be automated. The fire protection system will be automated. So almost like the fire department will show up to a building with an iPad, let's just say, and then you'll be able to see how much the GPM is pushing out on the fire pump, which sprinkler head's gone off, which flow switch is going off, the residual pressure on the riser. Like it's going to give them all this information. Is it? It's just it's expensive. It is sort of out. So there are some factories that have it, but it's not obviously it's not common and it's not readily available yet. But that will be the future. That's coming.
Yeah, it definitely is, and having all that information, at your finger on your iPad is, definitely valuable. So,
That's what Daryl's saying. He thinks it's the best thing going forward because it means any sprinkler guy can go into any building and have an idea where everything is located, not just one fitter secretly hiding everything from everyone else.
yeah.
Oh, Joe Kelly says future episode. Joe, we are booked out like 8 weeks or something. Next episode is May
Yeah, that's
2nd.
great.
May 2nd, if you want me to lock that down for you, Joe. We would love to talk about that. It's far way away, so I'll have time to study it, learn all about it. 957 subscribers. You guys are on up. You guys are on a push right now. Let's go. Invite some more people. Invite your friends.
Yeah.
Invite your cousins.
But we were talking about employees and stuff, and and how we retain them, and kind of goes along with how we retain clients as well. One of my sayings is try to build a great internal experience. From the sales to accounting to project management to our shop to the field. I have a circle, a wheel that has wedges of a pie in it, and that's all our kind of internal experience. And there's so many for us. There's so many facets to our business of just all those I just mentioned, and all of those kind of groups of people working together and really building a great experience for our own employees and our own company, as well as our as well as our clients. You can't have happy clients unless you have a real core internal great company. So
That's a great idea, the pie thing. I like that.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I like that.
I use it. I use it all the time. I
I'd love to
I,
see it.
I say the caveman gave us a wheel and fire, the two best things.
Wheel and fire. That is good.
The picture of
But
that.
how do you create that atmosphere, that environment? Like you're obviously doing something right if they're staying for this long.
I
And
mean, being for me, it's
What
being
was it?
engaged with what goes on in the company every day.
J Sip Smash, thank you for subscribing. I love when that thing pops up. Sorry, Joe.
No,
thank you so much.
yeah. But for me, yeah, it's being involved with what goes on all the time. It's committing, a lot of time of my own to just make sure every facet of the business is running smoothly and try to come up with better ways to run things and I don't know, it's just but it's a time commitment to run a company and it takes it's a sacrifice sometimes, but what you invest in it is what you get out. So
That's very well said, Joe. You got a smart man, like a wealth of knowledge.
I don't know about that.
We got any
In fact,
questions? We got any questions from the oh, Joe says it doesn't have to be him, but he'd be happy to help. Yeah, no rush. It doesn't have to be me, but I'm happy to share the info with you. All right. We'll talk more. We'll talk more. Daryl says he worked on a system where it was computerized control valves and they would open and close on their own. Didn't Tyson tell us about that? Like in Vegas? From the fire alarm room, you can just like shut like level 40 and drain it.
Yeah,
I
so
don't like
that's
that.
that. Well, I mean, eventually,
You're
the
gonna say,
one thing I do
don't
not,
say that's the future again.
well, it is, it is.
You already
But
said that too many times this show.
so they will be that system that does that will also be reporting and connecting to the fire department connections, as far as a mobile device. Um,
Does it take
the
work away
problem
though
for
from
me,
inspectors? Does the inspector push the button? I mean, I don't know. Like,
it calculates everything. The one thing that anything regarding temperature of something, I don't think you can do it.
hmm.
Um, Reaction, I would imagine you would need someone's hands. SPP Pump was talking about that over in Orlando, and and it has the capability of doing pump runs, but don't you want to have someone there?
Yeah. So, like in Boston, like if you were to do a commissioning test and you had like all your guys set up, say you're gonna like do a standpipe test, right? And you didn't have a guy in the pump room, they would fail you right away. So you have to always have a guy in that pump room if the pump is running during commissioning. What part of Virginia is Joe from in the company? I missed that at the beginning.
uh, Fairfax,
Fairfax.
Fairfax, Virginia. We're so about a half hour outside of DC. So
I've done 2 computerized systems using the Tyco EAS1 setups. It needs inspected just like a regular system. Okay. It's for emergencies only? Oh, I think we're talking about something different now, Daryl. Do you guys, as the fitters, fill out the NFPA 13 above ground and underground piping forms? I do. Not the Typically the underground one is not a form that I fill out, but I do like to witness that test, even though I don't necessarily need to witness it. But the above ground, yeah, every system I've ever put in, I've filled that form out, Joe.
yeah, no, we do
I
as well.
never had that experience.
Like when you basically at the end you just like it has like the how many heads you got, it just has all the info about each system. Every zone needs its own test certificate, and that's usually what
Oh,
a fitter would refer to the NFPA 13 above ground as a test certificate. All my valves open and close themselves when I have an apprentice. Matt Bass lives in Woodbridge most of his life.
Yeah.
JB the apprentice assassin. What? Is that your apprentice? JB? I used to be an NFPA 25. I'd have to look to see if it still is, but it says the fire pump needs to be attended while running. I think that is a thing.
that's great.
Right? It has to be attended while running?
Well, let's say it has to be attended, but what if it's being attended by sensors for heat, making sure that the cage relief opens, making sure it's not getting too hot, has a camera for visuals,
And then what, it automatically shuts itself down if something happens?
yeah, or by a button. Do it from a control center. Let's say you're at a hospital,
Man,
prison.
you're really pitching this to me.
I mean, it's the future.
You
You
get
get
AI involved with doing inspections. It maybe, hey, that's maybe that'll be more involved in the future.
say be inspecting right from your laptop, kid.
Yeah.
Inspecting from the comfort of
Not
your house
bad.
with buttons and like cameras.
That's sketchy, you know?
So over the years, Joe, you've had to have a couple flood stories.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Let
not,
us have them. Let us
maybe not
have.
particularly you, but I know you've got a couple that you've heard about.
uh, I mean, I mean, try to think of some, but I remember one time when I was pumping up some underground in a hotel, and we were the standpipe in that building was fed underground. So it building had two stairwells at each end and like a fire pump in the center, and you know underground pipe. So we're pumping it up for hydro, and just watch the gauge, go from like 190 to zero.
Oh, that's my worst fear.
And we're looking around, you're listening, you're trying to, and apparently the main was outside somewhere, and it's blowing up out of the street, and we're looking around. We're like, what's that? And we
Oh
were able,
man, that's my worst fear. Is like when anytime you're hydroing, you're just watching that gauge. You're just always like, I hope this thing don't drop.
yeah, get the 205 and then cut the pump off. But I don't know. We see a lot of, like in winter time, people put a heater in the building and put it right under the sprinkler head. They couldn't line it up better. Just see that a lot.
Oh, and the head will discharge, and you got to report.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think of, garages, people hitting the sprinkler pipe all the time. Everybody see videos of
Oh, all the time.
U-Haul truck or whatever. Some guy with pipe racks rolls right in and takes off a couple dry pendants or something. But
NFPA4 will have all the joint forms accounting for all the systems together, FA, FP, smoke control, etc. Oh, okay. Seems like it's going to be more time consuming. Flood
yeah,
stories. Yeah, the rule is anyone that is confident is allowed to do fire pump tests. So technically, your maintenance guy in your building can do your fire pump test for you. Eh,
qualified person is what it says. Yeah.
yeah, qualified. I like qualified. I've known inspectors that have
Yeah.
inspected from their van but not their laptop.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of, well, speaking of the qualified person. So a lot of I don't want to say a lot of companies. I have heard of some companies that use that as a loophole. Let's say you're walking, you're doing an inspection of a residential building with apartments. They will do a small class, a recorded small class of extinguisher guys. And then they explain to them what they'll look for and get them, let's say, qualified.
And then they
And
revert
now,
back to that video always, right? Because
yeah,
even when the employees don't make it, they just show the new guy that same video.
right now they go and walk the apartment and then do their extinguisher. So typically, extinguisher guys paid a lot less than a sprinkler guy, and it takes the inspector out of that, takes it out of labor. So the sprinkler guy is only there for 2 days, not 5.
Mm. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I want a sprinkler man looking at sprinkler heads, not an extinguisher tech.
I'm trying to pull some strings to see if Cintas will sponsor the show and get you some dope and tape rugs made.
Oh man, you know how many meetings they will probably have to go through to approve that?
Yo, JB, make it happen, bro.
Yeah.
Make
I
it
want to know
happen.
how many meetings they might have at least 20 meetings discussing it
That guy
with
Bobby?
different people. Jeremy, one of the craziest things I laugh every time and at the same time I feel bad because like in every Cintas office, even the fire protection ones, they're all freaking wearing ties.
Every truck I see
Like they're
says the
wearing
uniform
ties in the
people.
office. Yo, you're a sprinkler guy. What are you wearing a tie for? Take that crap off, man.
Get us some rugs, dog. Tell Cintas to hit me up.
Yeah, I'll take a rug. I'll put it on my
Thanks,
doorstep.
thanks for joining us, Joe. We'll talk.
But talk about water stuff. We're starting to see more clients nowadays concerned about where we drain water to outside even, and some of them may be even concerned about how many times we drain and refill on a add and relocate job. There's definitely becoming more and more awareness to the dirty sprinkler water and the environment. We see that. I haven't seen that until just this past year. Within a year. So that's something new. And I hear about it in California and some other places like that, but we're starting to see a little bit of it on the East Coast here.
It's crazy like that in Massachusetts. I think almost every van guy has a 2-inch male NPT by inch and a half fire hose adapter to put into the main drain outside and run the fire hose, away from the bark mulch or wherever the drain was piped. That happens so much.
Yeah.
Brian would get it. Brian would in great. You fancy Bry? No, we need Bry. Brian's ours. Chill with that.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
But JB, on the other hand, dog, you know, maybe you could join the team, kid. That's it.
Any questions?
So, yeah, we are booked up for 8 weeks. Is that crazy? All the way through March, every Tuesday and Thursday. All the way through April, every Tuesday and Thursday. And we have May. Oh, I think I said March. May. Booked up till May. That's
Who's
wild.
next week?
Good question. Next week on the 12th. Oh, we will be live from SPP Pump Tuesday night.
Down there, Chris.
Tuesday.
That's with
Yeah.
Chris. Yep.
Chris
And
Gilday.
and there'll be Jeremy will be there from Riptide and Justin. I think Justin from Ferguson. There's gonna be like a big powwow. There'll be a bunch of us there.
No.
All right, so I don't know if I could say this.
Chad will
I
be
don't know.
there.
We might get in trouble, but
Oh,
so
Mitch
so
gonna
we
be there
get we
too.
got the Riptide fire pump equipment, and Jeremy, the designer, the inventor, he told us, he said, "All right, this is rated for 2,000." And
Oh,
we were like, "Okay, all right. Well, just so you know, it could go up to almost 4,000." It's actually technically 3,850.
oh,
And
that happened today, right?
yeah, a little bit over 100%, and well, 150%. And I sent him a text message, and he was like, "It did that?" It's like, "It did?
Yeah, that's
Whoa!"
great. That was Will, right? Will's?
Hmm.
Yeah, they put that was the quad, and they did 3,500 or plus GPM, and that was the first. So maybe we can try to do like 4,200 at SPP.
Yeah.
What pumps are y'all running down there?
I've been seeing a lot of 2,500 GPM diesel,
Yeah.
big girls,
A
Clark's,
lot of electric split case. A lot of
Caterpillar, Clark.
electric, not many diesels.
What are you talking about? What you're inspecting, or what NAFCO's putting in?
Well, I mean, what we see.
We're putting in diesels, baby. Twin them in, back to back,
Well, I mean, on the large
on
manufacturing
those big
and
ones. Yeah.
yeah.
What would you do with towns that have very low water pressure? What?
Mm,
Give them a fire pump.
Yeah.
You got to give them a
And
fire pump or a
there's
tank.
several different versions of a fire pump,
Give
but
them a big old
yeah,
tank
give them a try.
outside, connected to a pump. Where did you get those shirts? We got these shirts from our
Oh,
buddy
Vegas
Chad
Valley
over at
Fire.
Vegas Valley. And this is actually a sponsored episode. And if you'd like to go and work in Vegas for Vegas Valley Fire Protection, you can go to vvfire.com/be my best and let them know we sent you. So weak the flow switch won't even go into alarm. Yeah, that's not. You gotta have some kind of pump. You gotta put a tank. I don't know. Someone dropped the ball on that. Towers with 20 psi are getting a big old tank for their system. Had to do it at a local racetrack. Yo, the racetrack in like Gainesville or something that I was just invited to. I wanted to go to the drift track, and Brian's like, "Yeah, right. Have fun."
I was
So how
I was belittling it because I wasn't invited.
Oh, maybe I could have invited you, dog. I get invited, and then I could just invite you. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one, Daryl. I would definitely think that. I would like to assume that the pressure was higher when they originally did it, and then now there has a pressure loss. But if someone were to put in a system that only had 20 psi and they just left it, like I feel like somebody dropped the ball, big time.
Hmm.
I don't even know the minimum pressure you need for a sprinkler head, but I know that at my house I have like 70 psi, and I had just a regular 155 upright, 5.6 K factor. I broke it. I hooked it to the garden hose and I put it over my garden. I thought it was going to be the best idea ever. That thing, I could like pee stronger than that thing. It was like just trickling out. It didn't spread at all. I'm like, oh, we need a little bit more pressure. Maybe I need to
I
put a tank.
I mean, there's a certain amount of flow required to when you have a housing development or build a neighborhood. I mean, there are minimum requirements for that, and a lot of smaller towns they overlook those requirements because they need the tax revenue for it. So I mean, that becomes the reality of, hey, not requiring a developer to put in a substantial water system that can be used for, not even fire sprinklers, but fire hydrants and fire flow. But small towns need revenue, tax revenue. So there's, it's kind of a hard balance, I guess. Do you force a developer to do something that may jeopardize the project even coming to that area? I mean, I see it from both sides. I
I see
mean,
what you're saying. Yeah, you need the revenue to.
I'm all for it, having, as a firefighter, we've hooked up to hydrants and, not had enough water to, not even get 500 gallons a minute out of them, which isn't enough to fight a structure fire. So,
Right. Oh, see, we're both invited, Bry. This was at AMP in Dawsonville. You're both invited to Lanier every Friday.
Whoa, I never heard of it.
You're from here? You never heard of it? I just drove by it today, I think. You have to
Oh,
start
like
working out more,
Lincoln
Brian. Chad
Lanier?
looks 10 times bigger than you in the picture.
Chad's a big dude.
Maybe you should start doing them diamond push-ups like Chad does.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna work out together tomorrow.
Chad does do them diamond push-ups, kid. Maybe you got to get on them.
I don't know. I'm gonna check his workout out.
I'm gonna
I mean,
I gotta pack all this shit up after the show. We're heading out in the morning, kid.
where are you headed?
Well, I gotta go to Viking and pick some stuff up and then go up to Gainesville, but after that, I'm gonna go check into the Airbnb. I won't like be able to come back here because checkout's at 10.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and y'all check in. What time is check-in? 2 o'clock, I
At
think.
the Airbnb, yeah, I think something like that. Should be a
so,
good
so
time.
how do y'all like traveling, or doing jobs in different parts of the country?
It's eye-opening. It's sad being away from the kids,
Yeah.
but it's a sacrifice you gotta make. I think about other people that do it, and I think about people in the army and the military that are away for months at a time, and so, and then if I'm away for a week, like then I'm working at home for a week, which is pretty cool. I never did that before. So my first week working at home,
Mhm.
it was different, I brought my son to school in the morning. Never got to do that before because I was always leaving at like 5 a.m. I like it. I
Yeah,
think
that's good.
that everything in the South is a little bit slower than what I'm used to. The talking, the driving, the walking, the working. So that's a little bit of an adjustment to me. But it's great. I love it. I'm seeing all kinds of new stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, I enjoy going into, I go other areas of the country and stuff, and seeing, sometimes I try to walk on a job site and not get kicked off, but
I do
see
that.
how they do something, I might see something new. I mean, it's definitely interesting going to other parts of the country. You know, Floridians, they love their backflows so much they put them out in the front yard. I mean,
I
they,
know that is crazy, isn't it? It's like I feel like they're gonna freeze.
yeah, well, but hey, it's different areas, different things, and
That's it. Yep.
but it's all. So there's so much to learn, even my lifetime in this business. I mean, you know, I I still sit in the AFSA classes and webinars, and I listen and ask questions, and there's still so much to learn.
Every
And
day. That's what I tell even the new guys. Like I'm still learning.
yeah,
Every day I learn something.
yeah, you know,
That's a
but
good that's a good thing to try to do is try to learn something every day.
yeah.
Even on
So
the bad days, if you got a grumpy foreman or a grumpy journeyman or something, there's still something to learn there. Leave your feelings
yeah,
in the car.
Long time ago, you said if you cut a rod off red rod wrong, you get thrown at you. Nowadays you can't.
Oh man, yes.
That's a true thing, man.
Yeah,
I've had that. I've
it
had
is
wrenches
true.
thrown at me. Like,
Yeah, man, I got all kind of stuff thrown at me.
Yeah, those are all things you can't do anymore. But but you learn how. I mean, hell, but you learn how to cut the rod right. And
yeah, you don't fuck it up again after that. When they wing it at you. Oh
yeah,
man, that's awesome. Yeah,
but
I've had some grumpy foremen over the years.
yeah,
It makes it tough. It makes it tough when you get that grumpy guy to work for. He's like never happy.
yeah.
And
But
then you get that.
Yeah,
Then you
but
got
I
the
also, I don't know. I've never been one to keep my mouth shut, you know? So when I got the grumpy guy, I don't know. I just felt like I had to let him know, you know?
same.
Yeah, I've never been one. No, I would work hard, so he couldn't say nothing, you know? I would always try to be one step or two steps in front of him, always.
And he's still never happy. Yeah, I had to stand up.
But
I had to
if he
stand up
does,
to.
I'm also letting him know,
I had to
you
stand
know?
up to a foreman, and I was just a little apprentice. And that was it. I was just at wit's end. Like you can haze me and this and that, and I'll drill every shield, but you are not going to disrespect me.
No, disrespect's huge.
And that was that. We went chest to chest, and then he never fucked with me ever again.
No, I mean the last guy I had to let go was for just straight disrespect. I
That's it.
mean, I can't do it.
You got to show respect to everybody,
yeah,
especially the people that serve you your food. That's a good way to tell if someone's a good person or not, is how they treat the people that serves them their food.
Yeah.
959 subscribers. Why didn't it pop up? We missed one.
So, Mr. Schaefer, I really hope that I can build the branch that I'm building now in North American Fire Protection, how you built your company and create the environment and the way that everybody feels about working there with you over here. So I really hope I can do that, just
that,
as you did.
thank you. I appreciate that. I'll send you some of my little leadership PowerPoint things, and a lot of stuff I talk about in my company, and
Yeah, man.
uh,
I'll look at whatever you want to send. If you want to send it to
Oh no,
dopeandtape at
absolutely.
gmail,
yeah, no,
dopeandtape at gmail. If anybody ever wants to send us anything, Brian and I both have access to that email, and we both check it. And so you can email us both just by emailing dopeandtape at gmail.
no, it
Yeah.
sounds good.
I
But
find from the old school to the new school, no one smokes anymore. Smoking is definitely a dying thing. Like, man, when I was first on the job, it was like there was butts all in the job. The porta
Oh,
potties were all
everywhere
cigarettes. Everyone was just inside smoking.
with a bucket of
I
sand.
love that they just got all them butt smokers like fucking out on the lawn. I don't want to smell it. It's awful. Sorry. That's why it's dying. Is because the new school guys don't want to be smelling it. Is there anything worse than
Well,
someone smoked a butt and they get on the elevator with you?
oh,
Come
terrible.
on, can't do it.
Now,
Sorry.
now they all
Sorry to
have
all the butt smokers. We love you, but you stink. Brian has never been one to keep his mouth shut. We don't believe that for a second.
Hey, me and Chad went right by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium today.
I know, he sent me a video. I told him to take a video of the stadium and then look at you and ask you about it. He's like, "Oh, look at the stadium, Brian. You know anything about that?" "Oh yeah, one time I repacked the fire pump." My first foreman knew me since I was a toddler. He treated me like a younger brother and not in the nice cuddly way. Oh, that's good. My foreman was my old man, so I had to tend with a smile. Yeah, I learned under my dad too, and you learn quickly. I'll send you a first aid kit, kid. I need first aid kits for all the foreman's trucks. Come on, send me a link. Send me a link, JB. Here goes another hour staring at Brian's face. Can you believe it? 959. We're about to hit 1,000 subs. Got like another month. So you're gonna go to NFPA, Joe?
yeah, in June down there, I like parts of Florida. I spent some time down in Reddington Beach area, which is on the Gulf Coast. So
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about NFPA for a minute because we kind of got something special that's happening.
okay.
So NFPA is Sunday, June 16th, and it goes till Wednesday, June 19th, and maybe a day before or later. Maybe I messed that up. But anyways, the expo I think is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 17, 18, 19. And Brian and I and Matthew Bass, the Matt Bass, we will be doing a talk there. We'll be doing a session.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, come in. Yes, a session, a 1 hour
A
session. We're gonna
1 hour
be
session at
talking.
NFPA. It's exciting. It's nerve-wracking. And if you guys want to go and you guys want to meet us, we'll be at NFPA in June on those dates. We'll also be at AFSA in Denver, and that is in September. And so, if you want to go, start planning it now, and we'd love to see you there. I'll have like 1,000 stickers on me. I'll give you as many as you want. We got you with the first aid kit. JB, let's make this happen. Is that a Cintas thing too? First aid kits? I need like the OSHA. I need like
Yeah,
the
they do.
OSHA one that I gotta have on the
Bro, they
trucks.
do. They do everything.
Yeah? Every truck says uniform people. Every truck I've seen, except for when JB shows me his truck.
No, there's a fire protection branch here in Atlanta.
I seen one fire protection truck in Boston at the hospital I worked at, like just one day. I'm like, oh my god, it says
You
fire
know, there was
sprinkler.
a fire protection company that did really well with this, but they did a lot of hospitals, and they still do, and they would like test and inspect eye wash stations, and no one else really does it. I don't know if Cintas does that,
Oh, they have to.
but
They got to get their hands in it. We do it all. Eris and JC. Which one are we
they do it
talking to?
all. They even wear ties and suit jackets and in the office. I don't understand that.
But JB be posting
Every time
videos
I
every
see
day.
it.
I love seeing it.
So
Awesome.
I
which
can't.
day,
You know what I need to do? I need to go in there and hand out dope and tape stickers. Just show up. Just hey, here's some stickers. Why are you wearing that stupid thing? It looks silly.
Yeah.
Take it off.
JC, what up? What are you saying, Joe?
so which day down at NFPA are y'all presenting?
Mm,
I believe Wednesday,
Let's say,
the
okay.
19th. And I will, once we lock that down, I'll post about it and make sure everybody knows. But
This will be the first time I've been to NFPA. I've always gone to AFSA stuff, and I decided I'll come down to Florida this year and see what it's all about. So
let's do it. If there's time, there's potential that we set up like a meet and greet where we get some kind of space where we can, whoever comes down can come like hang out and, we
that
get apps and drinks or something like that and we can meet and network.
sounds good. What is it? I think it was Bob Caputa that said what some of the AFSA events they've had, not the NFPA, but the AFSA ones, they've consumed the most alcohol of any trade show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Our sprinkler guys.
They called us the Drinkler Fitters.
So,
The Drinkler Fitters for years. I mean, that was the big thing. All the sprinkler fitters were drinking. Go to Reliable Sprinkler in Atlanta. Cintas Fire Sprinkler is across the lot from them. There's like 100 of their trucks there at a time. Man, I got 100 dope and tape stickers and 100 Bobby stickers. I'll hit every truck. Rear window. Boom, 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 boom. I got a sticker on my Cintas truck for you boys. Let's go. We have a factory we service that has flow switches on their eye wash stations that send a supervisory. So I
Huh.
guess I've tested eye wash stations before.
I guess
What?
so.
A
Yeah.
supervisory if someone uses the eye wash?
Well, you want to know. That means something happened. See, think about it. It keeps from someone covering up an accident.
Yeah, you just look for the big wet spot. Usually they just drain onto the floor.
Yeah, there's a drain right underneath them.
That's it. That's another hour. I'm gonna pack this room up and get ready for my next spot. My next spot I'm staying. I keep on refreshing, hoping to see 960, but you guys stopped subscribing. You didn't invite your brothers and sisters and aunties.
I mean, almost 1,000. That's impressive. I mean,
Yeah, it's a little over a year.
A little over a
little over a
year.
year.
Yeah.
Thank you for I
That's
since
crazy.
we started this, it's consistent. I can't believe this has happened. I can't believe this has happened. This is crazy. Can you believe this happened? Like that's just what we keep saying.
It's just there's so
The
many sprinkler fitters out
community,
there. They got
the
nowhere. We got
community is
nowhere to
incredible.
go.
There's no community, and then they see it and they want to be a part of it, just like we would want to be a part of it. And it's not for us. It's not none of
No,
this is for us.
it's for the 30 people that are watching every time. Crazy.
And we appreciate y'all
Everybody
so
watching.
much.
Well, really appreciate Vegas Valley for the opportunity to represent you guys, and we really hope that we can
Yeah.
find you guys some help.
Appreciate it. You know, I ran into several people, and it's like, man, they tell me, it's like, man, I feel like I know you because they watch the show. And I was like, well, you do. I
Yeah,
mean, like what you hear, we're just hanging out. This is me.
that's it. That's why when we meet, it wasn't too like spectacular. So I like already
No,
knew you.
no. Now in let's say real life off the show, I am a little different, but yeah, this is what you're basically gonna get.
I'll have a few more Cintas Fire guys on the show next. Let's go. We want to get JB on the show, so make that happen. Ask Cintas if we can do that. We won't put Cintas. We won't even talk about it. We'll stop saying the word. It's good. It's good for them. You guys might sell some rugs or something.
I do want to get a cruise ship sprinkler man on the show.
Oh yeah, that is cool, huh?
There can't be many, so
They gotta like all be in the same area. Those boats are like made in the same area, and then they just.
yeah, but there has to be a
I
way
would
to
love to tour a
find
cruise
one.
ship that's under construction. Who can make that
Yeah.
happen? Who's the connect? Who's the plug? I want to go on a cruise ship that's like three-quarters of the way done, and I want to just like mosey around and look at shit. There's got to be someone in here. I went on one cruise, and I'll tell you, the only place I wanted to go was like as low as possible, and like you can't get there. I want to just like get down to the bottom. Like I seen this one stairwell, like it looked like it was going. I don't understand how there's boat left. I want to go down there and check out all the good stuff.
Yeah.
JB doesn't need permission. Okay, I thought there was something like I thought we tried to get you on and we couldn't. We're booked out till May, so I'm gonna put you down for May 2nd. May 2nd, JB. Yes? No? Yeah, you got this. All right, I think that's it.
All right. Hey, thank you, fellas. I appreciate the opportunity. Good
Yeah, we
talking.
appreciate you coming on, man, and
Thank you so much for coming on.
it's people look up to you and what you're doing in like 50 years or more in the business.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking the company over, and you got 40 years, and you still got the bib on. You're showing us up, Joe.
I mean, I still want to have you on because I want to talk to you about, other things with the business and just some more advanced questions in as far as how it was done in, before VIX, like with the big pipes and it being screwed. Like, I want to know how that was. And
What's
so we
being a hero?
definitely need to have you back on so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'll share everything I know.
I love it. And I look forward to shooting the shit with anybody that's at NFPA. I really do. That's like the best part about it is meeting everybody at NFPA. The top dogs all the way down to we got to watch The Apprentices. It was an amazing experience, and I can't wait to be back. And we're gonna be collaborating with NFPA, and you guys are gonna be hearing about it soon, and we'll be posting about it. And we really just want people to, if you can, show up to NFPA
Yeah,
2024. We'll be there.
definitely come. It's fun. It's like our Disneyland.
It really is. It's a good time. All right, that's it. That was a great show. Thank you so much for your time, Joe.
Thank you.
Brian, good job, Bri.
Thank you, sir. And hey, I'm proud of you, okay?
Yeah, proud of you too. All right, Dope and Tape out. Thank you for joining us.